It has come to my attention that a number of people don't know how to properly install Arc or properly use some of its features, and I'm just going to do a little quick guide here that's going to go over everything, including add-ons, including build templates, and the chart. First thing is where do you get it? To get the main Arc.dps, you have to go to Delta Connect's website and download the mod. You go down to the bottom of the website, you can download the D3D9DL and the build templates DL, and to get the mechanics log, you need to go to Martin's website and scroll down and download it as well. And you want to check after major patches so that you can stay up to date. Now, once you're in game with it installed, you can hit Alt-Shift-T and pull it up. In the options, the main thing people use is area stats. This is the bulk of what people use Arc.dps for because it is, well, the DPS meter itself. On here you can see your DPS and your cleave DPS, as well as the total team DPS. If you hold down the modifier keys and click on someone's name, you can pull up a more detailed chart. You can also toggle it from outgoing to incoming, damage, hostile, per second, and windows. You can pull up the buff table right there, which you can also do up here. So you don't necessarily have to pull up this window every time you want to do something. And you can do the same thing up here, so you can see what buff someone is doing and whether or not they're standing in things. Beyond that, there's the buff table, which you get a peek at, which shows you what boons and such you have on you, and whether or not you're upkeeping them as a support class. You have personal stats and personal skills, which tell you your damage incoming, healing incoming, and then this window is very similar to if you brought up the more detailed one, but just lets you see where your damage is coming from. Though they're not super useful. The next one is health bars, which if you have an NPC or an enemy or even a player, you can see a more detailed percentage of their health, since the in-game one stops at whole integers, whereas this one breaks it down to 2 decimal places, which is very nice. You can move this by holding down Alt-Shift and right-click and drag it around the window. That's a holdover from the older versions of Arc, and for whatever reason he hasn't updated it to work properly with the new UI. Then you have the compass, which lets you tell the difference between south, north, west, and east. The gatherings lets you see the number of tools remaining if you're not using infinites. They will give you numbers. If you're using infinites, they just give you a 0. And then finally metrics, which lets you see your frame rate, your ping, and your average skill lag. Beyond that, you have the tooltips settings, which is simply this little hover. When you are hovering over someone's name, you'll be able to see whether or not they are in combat, what their crit rate is, and so on. You can turn various things off. For the sake of logging, you want to leave lock preferred target on under general. Detailed cleave just breaks things down and makes it more obvious what's your cleave and what's your not. Showing totals or not just comes down to how compact you want it to be. Showing combat duration just means you don't have to hover over people to see how long they've been in combat. This can be useful for figuring out why somebody just suddenly spiked up and say a fractal because they GG'd and then the checkpoint respawned them, so they get a nice spike. But it's pretty obvious once you realize they've been in combat for 10 seconds. Then as far as requiring modifiers, I prefer them all checked. If you don't have require modifiers to show menus, it's slightly larger Arc when you don't always need to see those. The same goes for clicking. This prevents you from actually clicking accidentally on Arc while in the middle of combat. And then the same goes for moving them, so that, well, you don't accidentally click and drag your window somewhere. Skip closing windows is a feature. I don't personally like it. As far as logging, you can save logs from raids and fractal encounters, and they'll just save into a specific folder, which we'll go over. Personally, I would recommend compressing them. This saves on hard drive space, and uploading them becomes easier. And I personally sort by NPC name. You can sort by anything you want. That covers the core of Arc. Moving on to build templates, you have to hit Alt-Shift-D, not to be confused with T, D as in dog. You will be able to pull up and load a preset that you save, and the way you make one is you just type in this little bar the name of the build, set up your traits, gears, skills, and legendaries in the way you want the build to be, and then you can at any point look at it and see what it says by hovering over it, and then load it by simply selecting them and hitting the load key down here. You can rename them or change them by using the overwrite, and as far as legendaries go, they will swap the stats on any legendary, and it will swap the runes and infusions on legendary armor. At any point you can delete one by using the little X. Moving on from those, however, there's also the mechanics log, which you got from Martin. The mechanics log itself here just gives you a play-by-play going down at this time so-and-so got such mechanic. If you want a more detailed version, you bring up the chart, which breaks it down by player and groups them all together. If you're going to use this feature, you have to turn off modifiers to click, and release the modifier key so that you can properly toggle the arrow up and down. Having the buttons held down will make it so that you can't toggle it either way, so you just have to bear that in mind when using this feature. Now, one of the nice things is one of the features he's added is an export. And speaking of which, when you're dealing with files for the 2 tools for Arc.dps, when you're doing logs, in your Documents, Guildwars 2 add-ons Arc.dps combat logs, you can find the logs for all your bosses, and they're saved as an EVTC file, which you can put into a number of the log parsers. And then the mechanics are under a similar folder, only it's arc.dps.mechanics, and they're a CSV file. You can simply go to a CSV website that'll convert them, like convertcsv.com, and you can take them, upload the file, export it as an Excel document, and then it lets you see the mechanics chart outside, which is useful when paired in tandem with logs, and you can figure out, hey, why is that one person got high DPS? And you go, oh, they got no mechanics whatsoever in that entire fight. Just a quick addition, if you want to use Launch Buddy in conjunction with Arc.dps, make sure that your auto login is disabled, and it launches a standard version of Guildwars 2 without auto login. Log in normally, and then you can launch additional alt accounts without Arc.dps on, though the results may vary depending on which zones you leave these alts parked in while using Arc.dps.